In this video, we're going to be looking at rearranging formula. Now, when we rearrange formula, you are trying to get the subject on its own. In this case, x. Now, in this video, the subject appears more than once. So you need to rearrange to get the x's on the same side. Here I've got fx and I've got 2x. So I want those to appear on the same side. My fx will stay on the left, and I'm going to bring the 2x across. Now at the minute, it's positive 2x. And when something crosses over the equal sign, we do the inverse operation. So if it's plus 2x on the right, it will become minus 2x on the left. Now anything without an x is going to move to the right hand side. So the minus 3p and the plus 2d need to be on the right hand side of the equal sign. So the CD stays where it is, and then the minus 3p crosses the equal sign, so it becomes plus 3p. Now I've got all my x's on the left hand side. I don't need both x's, so I need to factorise. So x goes outside the bracket, and f minus 2 goes inside the bracket. And CD plus 3p stays where it is. Now, this means x multiplied by f minus 2. So the inverse of multiply is divide. So x will stay on the left, CD plus 3p over, and then everything in the bracket moves as it is, so f minus 2 goes underneath. Alternatively, you could have moved the x's to the right hand side. If you'd have done that, you would have an equivalent answer that would be x equals minus 3p minus CD over 2 minus f. They are equivalent answers and either of them are acceptable. It just depends on which side you move your x's to in the first instance. Now here we've got brackets in our equation, so we have to expand the brackets. So we've got CF plus CM. Notice I've gone alphabetically. Equals DE minus 3M. Now we're trying to make M the subject. So anything with an M, I want to stay on this left hand side. So the plus CM and the minus 3M will all come over to the left. So that will give me CM plus 3m as the minus 3m's cross the equal sign equals DE stays where it is, and CF at the minute is positive, so when it crosses over it will become negative. We can then factorise, so I've got m bracket c plus 3 equals DE minus CF. And then that gives me m equals DE minus CF over C plus 3. Alternatively, if you'd have taken your m's to the other side, you would have m equals CF minus DE over minus 3 minus C. Now here we met with a divide. Now obviously we have to remove that divide bit first. Now the inverse of divide is multiply, so the f will cross the equal sign and we'll have to multiply it by t and minus p. So to show that, we have f, then we have the bracket, t minus p equals pr minus 3. Now we expand the bracket, so we've got ft minus fp equals pr minus 3. Now we're trying to get p's as a subject, so the ones that I've highlighted in green need to come over to the left. Now the minus fp is already on the left, so that stays where it is. We then have minus pr, because that comes over, and that equals minus 3 minus ft. We can then factorise, so that gives me p bracket minus f minus r equals minus 3 minus ft, and so that will give me p equals minus 3 minus ft over minus f minus r. Alternatively, you could have had p equals ft plus 3 over r plus f. And finally, we've got m equals 2d minus mp over d minus x. The d minus x has to be multiplied by m, so that would give me m bracket d minus x equals 2d minus mp. So that gives me dm minus mx equals 2d minus mp. Now I'm trying to make d the subject, so anything with a d needs to be on the left hand side. So dm minus 2d equals minus minus mp minus mx. So d bracket m minus 2 equals minus mp minus mx. So d equals minus mp minus mx over m minus 2. Alternatively, you could have had d equals mx plus mp over 2 minus m. The thing to remember is when something crosses over the equals sign, you have to do the inverse with it.